I'm Indy Nidell.
I'm Spartacus Olson.
I'm Astrid Deinert.
And this is a TimeGhost Christmas public service announcement. Because it's around the holidays time. And Astrid, take it away.
Yes, it's Boxing Day. We've been celebrating Christmas together.
We had two Christmas dinners. One on the 24th and one on the 25th.
That is, and Sparty did an enormous job making the best turkey ever.
And that was on the 25th. On the 24th, we had a Swedish Christmas, which involved a big ham. So when I say we had two huge Christmas dinners, they were different Christmas dinners.
They were different Christmas. And he did the best performance, the Christmas performance. Maybe we can show you a little bit of what he really did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, pornography is not really the thing on YouTube.
Really great.
I don't think we have the rights to that song.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to, in order to get the rights to that song, we'd have to talk to a group of people. It would be a construction worker, an Indian, a biker.
Another guy?
Yeah, let's call him a biker just for the sake of the joke.
Let's call him a biker.
And the cop. And, I understand. The thing with the village people is that, they're supposed to be.
Now you mentioned them.
Yeah, I can mention them.
Not supposed to mention.
You can bleep them out. Supposed to be, there was gay stereotypes. And I understood the construction worker and the leather guy and the cop and stuff. Where did the Indian come in? When did that become a gay stereotype? I don't remember that turning up when I was a kid.
It was a guilty conscience.
Having said that, he was by far the best dancer. You saw them on screens live because he'd do all the stuff. I mean, he was the guy you were watching was the Indian. So I think that's why the Indian was there.
What we concluded is that both Indy and I know a scary amount of village people lyrics.
Yeah. I won the Village People album Cruisin' in a school poetry contest when I was 11 years old, and you had to enter. Every kid had to write a poem, and my poem was called Trans Am, and it was about how cool my car was. I was 11, and I won the Village People album Cruisin', and they published my poem in the school paper, and I was really embarrassed. But I only had a couple of record albums. Those were expensive. You maybe got one at Christmas, and whatever you got, that's what you listened to. And you listened to it ad infinitum. So I know an awful lot of Village People lyrics. And Beach Boys. And Grease.
And Grease.
My first album.
Oh, Grease was one of my first albums.
Will you stop it? I have to.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Take it away, Astrid.
Yes. Okay. Community. TimeGhost Army. I really want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. But before I thank you from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, the crew. It is the best crew ever.
True.
We have been filming until the very last day. They just left 2 days ago. And to work with those guys, like Vike and Joram and Irina, and Francis and Angel Face and Rune from Denmark,
and Marek,
the great Dane and Marek. It is such a blessing to work with people that you really love, and they're so professional, and they work day and night to do this.
Yeah. And
I'm really proud, and of course I'm very, very proud to work with these two talented young gentlemen.
But you know what I just realized, Astrid? I just realized that if we're going to be saying Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas, maybe the crew wants to be saying it too.
The crew might say something.
At least some of them.
Some of them. Okay.
Magic.
Let's see. Magic. Is the magic happen?
Merry Christmas! Hi guys, from my side, Vike, hi. I wish you all the best this Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for all the support. You might not have seen me a lot, but I read your comments and I really appreciate all your compliments and all your love. So thanks for that and have a good New Year.
Hi, my name is Irina. I'm editing World War II and Sabaton history. Thank you for this year. It's been an amazing time with this team and I hope we'll continue seeing each other many more years.
Hey guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I look forward to the new year very much because we're going to do a lot of amazing stuff. Hopefully we get to meet you in real life as well in some fan meetings, who knows what's going to happen. But at the very least I will be seeing your comments and answering them online.
Can you believe I get paid to do this? That's awesome. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rune and I'm the intern. I'm from Denmark and I mostly just do what Sporty tells me to do.
Or your
Yeah, you're the real boss behind all of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so we have a great crew. There's no question about it. But for a large part of the work, we still rely on unpaid volunteers.
Community organization, colorization, things like that.
And so, I mean, our heartfelt thanks go out to you guys. You know who you are. You've been doing a fantastic work and we've added a lot of colorizing people in the last few weeks.
I see it on Slack.
And you do such a great work, and it adds so much quality to our shows.
And it'll be great in the new year if we're able to pay more of you. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I'm talking to the army now.
Yeah.
Okay. The army. I thank you so much. You've been such good supporters, and I love your comments. You know, some of them are so intelligent, some of them are so stupid, and everything is really entertaining. You know, we love it. You know, when we go through the comments, I thank you for each one of them. Right? It's such a blessing to do this project with you. Indy will tell a little bit about what we did during the day, but we have a wonderful year in front of us. We want to do 2 very big projects. I will try to get the finances together, and you will love it.
Several major milestones in 1941. Spoilers. For example, Barbarossa and Pearl Harbor are the 2 huge ones that leap to mind. We do have an idea for a different way of doing Pearl Harbor, a way that hasn't been done before. We'll talk more about that in a couple of months, and hopefully we can get the finances together to do that. But all that'll become apparent in the new year. But that's the new year. This year was an awesome year. World War II doubled in size. I mean, we started World War II Hitler started World War II, but we started it only less than a year and a half ago, and it's already growing by leaps and bounds, and that's great. And it's gotten bigger with the sub-series. Sabaton History premiered in 2019. February 7th was the first episode of Sabaton History. We had a great time working with the Sabaton boys all year. I had a lot of fun being Lawrence of Arabia in the Sahara Desert in Tunisia for the 7 Pillars of Wisdom video. Music video, if you haven't seen that, there's going to be a link. I think the best thing that we did to expand and to show the TimeGhost we want us to be was the trip to France, to Paris, to Verdun, to Sudan, to work with both Sabaton for the release of Great War, and also with us to be boots on the ground and meet guys like Richard Tucker and be able to do firsthand primary on-the-spot research instead of just primary, secondary, and tertiary research from resources. Hopefully we get to do that more and more in the future, because I think that's what will really take the show to the next level. We developed some out of the foxholes. War Against Humanity became a big thing. We did a whole bunch of episodes of that. And of course, Between Two Wars became a very regular feature of our Sparty. That's your baby. So maybe you want to say a few words.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming towards 1939. It's getting more and more dramatic. The lights are going out over Europe.
As in Between Two Wars, not on World War II. They know that.
I think the lights.
Sorry.
World War II is already gone out.
I ruined your drama. Okay.
Yeah, no. So I mean, we're really getting close to 1939, and where we then meet up with in these weekly episodes. So it's going to gel into that. We're going to be done with that in March. Actually, we've now have everything very tightly scheduled. We're shooting the last things in January, actually. Then they're running into March, and then we're going to start a bunch of new things. So 2020 is going to be very much a year of various things on TimeGhost. So we're going to have like short series, small things. Not going to announce anything yet. But
things that are 3 or 4 episodes long, things that are 13 or 14 to really... You know, our first project we did was the Cuba Crisis. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out on the TimeGhost channel. We did that day by day, and more things in that sort of vein, like picking something historical, whether it's only 3 episodes or 10 episodes, but doing a few things like that.
And listen, guys, I really want to thank Zietze, called Angel's Face. That's his mafia name.
Here's his picture.
Here's his picture.
There you go. Look at that nose. Look at that nose.
He does our Instagram channel.
Yeah, which is awesome. Which follows World War II day by day, not just week by week.
And he did a fantastic job in trying all the different things that had to be done for our cooperation with our first product placement.
Well, it's not really product placement, is it?
No, it's not. It's a collaboration. It's a real collaboration.
It's not like, hi, drink this beer. It's delicious.
We can try
that. And somehow it's involved in the Second World War. Actually, we should do that.
We should do that.
Any beer companies out there that have beer that was involved in World War II, let us know. But we did film 2 collaborations with Paradox Interactive, the people that make Hearts of Iron 4. And we did it because I met with their historians and designers to talk about well, they have an expansion coming up at the end of January, early February, and I can't say exactly what it is. I don't think yet. I don't know yet. But
Okay.
What?
It's out.
It'll be out when this comes out? No, this comes out.
The teasers are out.
The teasers are out? Okay.
Okay.
It's Les Resistance. It has to do with the Spanish Civil War and the French Resistance. So we did 2 alternate histories about stuff that happened before World War II and how we feel that would affect World War II. And I met with the guys and we sort of wrote it and tweaked it, and then we put our spin on it. And we filmed it a couple days ago, but it's a different way of filming. We used the World War II set in the World War II studio, but in a different way. I think you're going to think it's really cool. Because Hearts of Iron is awesome. People have been asking us for, 4 years now, when are we going to do some kind of thing with Hearts of Iron?
Yeah,
but nothing, there was never anything that made any sense until now. So that's going to be a lot of
that's
fun.
an important point, actually. I mean, a lot of our our colleagues out there finance their shows by doing product placements and things like that. And we don't feel that that's quite appropriate for our content. I mean, other people do it that way, and that's fine, but it doesn't really work so well with the kind of depth that we do. So if we're going to work with somebody who is a commercial partner in some way, we have to find a way for that to work so that you guys can appreciate it just as much as the brand does and we do. And that took a while to work that out.
But this is really, really fun. These were really exciting to write.
It was. And it makes sense. And that
the thing.
has to make sense.
I mean, then again, it is alternate history. So you could say absolutely nothing changed, and that would also be equally true.
Yeah.
I have to talk about a milestone, though, and it's not so much a milestone for TimeGhost, it's a milestone for these 2 guys. Because today is December 26, 2019. And on December 29th, 1999 is when we actually met in Mallorca. So from 3 days from today, it will be our 20th anniversary. That is officially known in marriage terms as the Sergeant Pepper's anniversary. And that's when you have to get Sergeant Pepper's gear to your husband or your wife or whatever. Sparty and I met in Mallorca. We had some mutual friends that were going down there for the Millennium Shift, and we went down. And I'm not going to tell you the tales of swashbuckling adventure that ensued, which did involve boats at one point.
It did. And piracy.
And could have involved prison.
No, it was piracy.
Absolutely was. Okay. That's a story for another day. I thought I'd recap the 20 years of how we did work together, because we did plenty of other stuff in our lives. Even when we met, the second night, the 30th, the day before the Millennium Shift, which actually doesn't really happen until December 31st, 2000. People just count wrong because they don't know how to add 2,000 years, because there's no year zero.
That was Indy's moment of being a complete mathematical nerd.
Okay. But on December 30th, 1999, we sat down for hours. We were already talking about historical projects and ideas that we wanted to do and annoying everybody else. And we came up with the first thing we wanted to do. It was rather modestly named The History of the World According to Indian Sparty.
There you go.
But then he was living in Munich, and I started coming down to Munich to flesh out some projects, and we changed from that. And then we started doing a sort of a Heart of Europe thing, which was a smaller scale thing, which was about where the heart of Europe lay and stuff. And we did some pilots and teasers for that. You should find some footage if you can put that in here.
Maybe.
And then after a year and a half or so, I was playing with Money Brother at the time, and we started getting really big. So then I was touring more and more with them, and I didn't have as much time. So it was a couple of years that I didn't see Sparty. And then we had a Money Brothers show. We were doing a German tour in 2004. And we played in Munich the day before Easter, and then we had Easter off, and then we were playing in Frankfurt. And I got hold of Sparty and said, hey, do you guys want to come to the show in Munich? And they couldn't because they had family and stuff over. Well, he said by this time he had met a girlfriend, who's now a wife, named Astrid, who I'd never met yet. And he said, but why don't you come and hang out with us for Easter, and you can meet the band on Monday in Frankfurt. So I did. And I met Astrid, and we obviously got along. And
he accepted her.
But Sparty and Astrid, there was a script they'd been working on about Baron Pierre de Coubertin and the 1896 Olympics. And he showed me the draft of the script, and I read it, and I had some comments, and he said, oh, you got to be involved in this. So this was the first project we worked on together, was this feature film that had to do with Coubertin, which was derailed by the 2008 crash, which is a little unfortunate, because I just read the last version of the script like a few months ago, and it's still brilliant. But Astrid has restarted an idea about that, a multi-part thing, not really a YouTube thing. So we'll see what happens now that we've picked that up again. But you guys started doing things together. You did with with Africa and kids and sports. You did Operation Sneaker.
Sneaker.
And you did,
Jake
then
Nowitzki.
you took the Heart of Europe idea and made the big Heart of Europe project, which
was stopped by Boris Johnson. I kid you not.
Yes. Well,
there's a story behind
story.
that.
Yeah.
So
that ended in a different way.
but we, in 2005 and 6, they had, and I jumped aboard the ideas, ideas. Oh, and that's a dog.
That's Argos.
That's Argos. They had an idea for small, like regular TV series that you would get delivered straight to your telephone, right? You know, we didn't have YouTube series and YouTube channels then. It was pocket television was the idea. 10 stream pocket television. And we filmed some pilots for a bunch of them. And the first one was called TimeGhost. And it was about this guy. And he has this time machine that he makes out of an old electric chair. Long story. But he goes back in time and he sort of fixes things in history. However, that makes things worse. So another version of him is hunting him through time, trying to prevent him from fixing things or kill him. So he's the good guy and the bad guy because he's just making everything change. And this all led to you guys. We could talk a bit about the foundation of Mediacraft.
Yeah, I mean, what we were, as Indy said, we were way ahead of our time. This is 2005, just as YouTube was starting up. So there were no YouTube channels, really. There was no partner program, nothing like that. But one thing led to another, and eventually we co-founded what really became one of the biggest YouTube networks in Europe, actually in the world, which is Mediacraft.
They did.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it enabled all three of us to do the Great War, to start the Great War.
Things like that.
Again, we didn't do that. Franz Ferdinand's assassination kind of did, but
it lit the match.
Yeah, it lit the match. Yeah. So,
what about Dave Hitler? What did he have to do with it?
I think he was working as an insurance salesman at the time.
Yeah, Dave Hitler. Dave Hitler, insurance. Good to meet you.
So, but in any case, having a big, knowing a lot of people out there in YouTube, we got to know the YouTube people and we got the archive. We got working together with an archive that enabled us to do it. And that finally led to us being able to realize our dreams of 2004 and 1999.
The history of the world according to Indy and Sparty and Astrid and Argos and Cleo.
Argos' view on history is pretty short-sighted. It's called lunch.
Yep. Oh, he could do a whole series.
He could.
But we are all constantly excited for the future, which is great because we're middle-aged, and a lot of middle-aged people tend to have more glorious visions of their own past, let alone the world past. And we have neither rosy visions nor black visions of the world's past nor our own past. We're just excited to see where this world takes us and where we can take this world. So we will see you all in 2020 as we enter 20s, and you can start having 20s parties, and they make sense. And we hope you have lovely holidays and a happy, happy new year from all of us and all of the crew at TimeGhost. See you soon.